Hello, I'm Henry,
And I'm Trey.
and welcome to Marvelous, a Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast.
With our first episode, we thought that we'd record a short introductory podcast for you all, just to tell you a little bit about ourselves and how we got into Marvel. So, Henry, tell me about yourself.
Alright, so me and Trey met in college. I currently work as an engineer, and aside from Marvel, I'm into anime, Nintendo, circus, and all sorts of physical activities and stuff like that. Well, extreme stuff. I don't like soccer or that kind of stuff. Actually, soccer's okay among sports. Baseball's the bad one. Trey, how about you?
Thanks for that tidbit of information. Hi, everyone. I'm Trey. As Henry said, we met when I was a media studies major and we both went to UC Berkeley together. I'm now working in publishing. I'm a huge superhero fan. My favorite fandoms, aside from Marvel, are Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Harry Potter.
Alright, so one thing we wanted to do was we wanted to say our Marvel origin stories. So how we got into Marvel, basically. Trey,
MCU
how did you
specifically.
Yes. Trey, how did you get into the MCU?
Well, my origin story is a little different than most. I'm pretty much a latecomer to the universe. I'd seen some of the movies while they were being released, and I just never got that into them at the time. But I'm a huge Joss Whedon fan, so when I heard that he'd created a show called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., after I'd watched all of his other creations, I decided to give it a shot, even though it's kind of weird because he created it and wasn't really much of a part of it at all. But by the end of the first season, once it got to the suspenseful parts where it started to tie in more with the movies, I got super obsessed, and I watched Captain America Winter Soldier, which it ties into, and then from that point on, I rewatched all the Marvel movies. I was super obsessed with them, and I've been obsessed with Marvel ever since.
Alright, and so for me, I really got into superhero movies when Spider-Man, the original movie, came out. I just really loved that movie. And my favorite superhero was always Iron Man from any video games I've ever played or anything else. I never really read comics. So when his movie was coming out in 2008, I was super excited. And the movie was great. And that made me super interested in all of the MCU. So from then on, I was watching every single movie. And I don't know, probably once I got to Captain America is when I knew I was really in for the long term for the MCU. I'm going to make sure I see every single one as soon as I can. And I've seen almost every single movie within 2 days of them coming out since.
So, do you remember at all when you found out that Marvel was creating a universe of interconnected movies?
I can't really remember, but I know by the time Thor and Iron Man 2 and Captain America were coming out, the Coulson's Big Week thing, they made it obvious by then.
Yeah, I didn't even know any of those movies were interrelated until Avengers came out, so that was my...
I think that's what most people thought. Until,
that's true.
Yeah.
Unless you were a hardcore fan from the start, like Henry.
Woo! I'm the best! So, Trey.
Yeah.
Well, sorry for cutting you off. What's your favorite movie of the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
That is a tough one. It was Winter Soldier, but I think it's been overtaken by Captain America Civil War. I probably can't cement that opinion for sure until we get there in the podcast, so you will find out. Keep tuning in.
Oh man, the suspense, it's going to kill me.
What about you?
Yeah, I was devious with that question since I don't really have an answer. But, my favorite movies of the universe are Iron Man 1, Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain America 2 and 3. It's Civil War really isn't even Captain America. It's basically Avengers 2.5. And the Avengers itself. All those movies are fantastic. Yeah, I know that's a cop-out.
So your answer is all of them?
Hey, that was only about a third of them. I'll just say Iron Man 1 because he's my favorite and that's his best movie. So fine. Iron Man 1.
Which brings us to our next question of who's your favorite character? I wonder what you're gonna
say.
I
wonder what mine is. It couldn't possibly be that Iron Man person. It's Iron Man. It is. It is him.
I'm in shock. Okay. Well, I guess mine's kind of given away by my favorite movie too. Because Captain America is my favorite character. Yay!
I wasn't sure if you were going to say... Well, I mean, I knew you were going to say Captain America, but I was wondering if a new Spider-Man was coming close at all.
I was actually thinking about that for this answer, but I don't know. He's only had one movie, and Captain America has had 3 to win my heart, so...
Well, Captain America's been dominant in 6 now. Spider-Man's been really in 1 in a cameo.
True. And so, he's an amazing Spider-Man, no pun intended.
Hey!
But, yeah, he needs to be in a few more movies before I can call him close to a favorite.
Yeah, well, I mean, Iron Man's been in essentially 7, since you can include all the crossovers and Spider-Man, and he's still fantastic. And it's cool because you really see him growing as a character through all the movies. From playing just an arrogant jerk to an arrogant jerk who cares.
Or questionably an asshole, depending on who you talk to.
Hey, language.
Is this the podcast where we can cuss? We didn't talk about that.
I would say limited, but I was mainly just making an Age of Ultron joke.
Oh yeah, that was an Age of Ultron though.
Haha. Wait,
was
it? It was. Yeah, it was the first scene.
Oh yeah, I thought it was the first Avengers for a second. Okay, just kidding.
No, it was once they were all buddy and were making jokes and jabs at each other.
You're right.
Avengers 1, they weren't. Well, not much. So, Trey, what is your least favorite movie of the bunch?
Oh, well, my least favorite movie would probably be The Incredible Hulk. I would tie it with Iron Man 2, but considering that one actually ties into the overall scheme of things, the Hulk takes the cake.
You stole mine. No fair.
I'm
sorry.
That's
my least favorite.
I'm
now
sorry.
I don't get to feel special because I said it first.
I'm sorry that we agree.
How dare we agree?
That's not
okay. That's clearly not cool.
Well, what about your favorite show?
Okay. My favorite show is Jessica Jones.
And that is also my answer. So...
Hey, don't steal my answer. Be original. Jeez.
So even though I'm Team Cap and he's Team Iron Man, we do agree on some things.
Yeah. What about your least favorite show?
I have a feeling we're going to agree on this too. By far, Iron Fist.
Yep. Iron Fist. I'm sorry, buddy. You just... we know you're the immortal fist of Kunlun, but... you're not the immortal fist of my heart.
And you're probably not the sworn enemy of the hand either.
I'm not. I already cut off one of the fingers of the hand.
Not you.
I know, but just whatever. Don't worry about it. Let me leave my horrible joke that people won't understand here.
For anyone that's listening, Henry is missing a pinky. And that is what his joke was in reference to.
You spoiled it. Now I can't surprise everyone with this audio-only podcast.
You are welcome.
Wait, so...
We should probably note that we are recording this before Inhumans has come out, so we don't know if that's going to be worse than Iron Fist or not.
Well, technically the first 2 episodes are out, but they're still only in theaters and IMAX, so we haven't seen it yet because it doesn't sound like it's worth spending the money on.
This is true.
Also, it's not complete, so maybe it gets amazing in the later episodes. It probably doesn't. But maybe.
You never know. So, yeah, you can tune in later for our opinion on that.
Yeah. Wait, we should say least favorite hero, right?
Well, we had... Yes, we should.
Well, since we're probably both going to agree on this one for Iron Fist. Sorry, Danny. Well, how about just movies? Who is your least favorite movie hero?
It has to be Hawkeye. Because he's not a real superhero and I don't know why he's there.
He's a real hero in my heart. One thing I don't like is when people say Hawkeye's not a real hero, but don't give any crap about Black Widow. Black Widow isn't better.
I want to agree, but no, I don't.
No, I think she's way cooler and her gear and stuff make her also super interesting. But like it's not like Iron Man where even though he's not like physically a hero, like he is like full hero. Actually, now I'm thinking War Machine is probably the lamest to me. He has so much potential, but he's just used as a prop.
This is true, but all Hawkeye does is shoot arrows, and it's
Yeah,
really lame.
but sometimes it's cool. All right, just so I'm different from you this time, so we can have a disagreement because agreeing with you on everything makes me uncomfortable. I'm gonna say War Machine.
Okay. Well,
what? Why were you saying wait?
Because I wanted to comment on Black Widow.
She's awesome.
She is awesome, and I think she gets a pass because she's literally the only woman in this.
Scarlet Witch. What are you talking about? That is so rude.
In the first Avengers.
Okay. So, now we have 2 Avengers movies and a half, essentially. And we have Scarlet Witch. We're going to have Captain Marvel soon. We're going to have The Wasp soon. I think you're being mean and rude to Scarlet Witch.
My point was that Black...
We also have Nebula and Gamora.
Do we?
Oh, yeah.
My point...
What do you mean? What do you mean, do we? We totally do. Also, wait. Not even just them. Now we also have Mantis.
Okay, I'm not going to comment on those right now, but my point was that Black Widow gets more of a pass because in the first Avengers, she was the only woman that was on the team. So...
Back in the Dark Ages, where women weren't allowed...
Hawkeye's just useless and shoots arrows and gets mind controlled for most of the first movie.
Whatever.
That's
also,
all.
We have Daisy, Sky, Quake. She has many names.
Well, you said we weren't doing shows.
True. I'm just mentioning her because her. Also, Jessica Jones. Anyways, I think that covers our favorites and least favorites. Don't you?
Yes.
So, Trey, what are we going to talk about on this podcast?
Well, Henry, since you asked...
I'm so excited!
Basically, what we're going to do on this podcast is go through every movie and show that is in the Marvel Universe in order of release date.
Not chronological, because that's going to be impossible since movies are going to be stuck in all over now. Looking at you, Captain Marvel.
This is true. And we don't want the shows to overrun the podcast too much. We don't want to weigh too heavily on that side. So what we're going to do instead is cover multiple episodes of a show in one podcast episode.
Yeah, they pretty naturally split up as how they were divided between movies into chunks of like 4 episodes for S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff like that. And all the Marvel ones will do like 3 or so episodes on, depending on our length and the interest level. Iron Fist, we'll see if you deserve 3 or 4 episodes. We'll see.
Maybe just 1 or 2.
Yeah. And we'll also cover news a little bit. And we also don't want that to cover everything because there's always weird rumors and stuff. We'll worry more about concrete stuff. And for when new movies or big Netflix releases like The Defenders come out in the future, we'll probably do little special episodes based on them and give our first thoughts. Right?
Yes. And our current events segment, while it's going to be small, will probably cover all superhero movies, not just Marvel. So if we have thoughts on Justice League that we're dying to share, we might be like, okay, this movie was awesome, or this movie sucked. Yeah.
Need more Wonder Woman and her theme.
Well, your wish will be granted since the reshoots are putting more Wonder Woman in.
Yeah. They better be putting her theme in more also, because I like her theme. It's cool.
Well, you should
and
write to
aggressive.
You should write to the filmmakers and tell them that.
I will. Which is Joss Whedon now? Okay.
Yes, it is. So we'll see how that goes.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning into our...
Oh, Trey, okay. Where can they find us? We have a Facebook page.
Oh, this is true.
Yeah. We will probably expand to more social media outlets in the future. But for now, we're just going to use Facebook, I think.
Yes. So
I have a Twitter. I don't use it. But if you can find me, then you're welcome to follow me.
Yeah, I also have a Twitter, but I don't even know my username because I've never logged on. So you can't follow me. Sorry.
If you can find him, you win.
Yeah, if you find me, you win the game.
He has a wonderful egg as his profile picture.
No, I don't.
The egg's the default, unless you changed it.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I changed it.
Damn
I
it.
I think it's me in a FedEx costume for some reason.
You'll have to explain that to me later.
I took part in a wedding where I FedExed in the
I
ring.
said later, Trey!
Okay, well, I just shared it with our listeners.
Okay, fine. Well, anyways, I'm Henry, once again.
I didn't tell them where to find us yet.
I thought we said Facebook.
I didn't tell them what our username was.
Okay, Trey, what is our Facebook's name?
All right, so you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/marvelousmcu. And you can email us at marvelousmcupodcast@gmail.com.
Oh, yeah, we have an email because we're real fancy.
So if you have any comments or suggestions on the podcast or questions for us that we will air on the podcast and answer, then submit them on either of those places.
And please like and leave comments on your podcast provider. I assume iTunes is one of the biggest ones, because that'll give us a lot of help to spread the word of our podcast.
And make us more visible to people. Yay.
I guess that about covers everything.
We hope you'll join us next week for Iron Man.